is very important. So like, which means that blood volumes doesn't limit to liver blood, like our total blood volume has to be enriched. And also like, when we have enhanced blood volumes and flow, we can also prevent the liver yang from rising too much. And as I mentioned, that because excessive rising of liver T will actually, or liver yang, can generate wind and will end up with a lot of other problems. So yin and yang has to be in balance. In the relationship between Qi and blood, Qi is on the yang side and blood is on yin side. So we have to ensure that our yin has no deficiency, so that we can achieve to holding the liver Qi in right positions, and it can to enhance the total balance. Okay, so again, first thing first, what can we do in daily life to help that? How can we regulate and promote the proper flow? So點樣先可以梳理到個肝氣嚇? So a couple of suggestions that we can give, and which is can get into your daily practices, is like, of course you can go and see a doctor and have Chinese herbs that promote Qi movement. But then if you want to do it yourself, one of the very easy way of doing it is have some floral tea, like the floral tea, including like the chrysanthemum tea, the rose tea, and actually every flower tea has that powers of like making the tea flow better. And then like another thing is like, I think it's like a self-awareness of we need to manage stress and extreme emotion instead of letting it go, and instead of letting it keep on escalating. Sometimes we have to know how to reduce it and let it go. Stress management is a total different topic that we can have another presentation to talk about. But then the self-awareness is the beginning of it. Like you have to learn when is the time that you're being stressed, and then you have to manage your environment a little bit so that you don't go excessive. And also like, don't let your emotion keep escalating, no matter which emotions. Definitely not anger, because anger will have a direct relationship to the liver health. But then other emotions, if it's sadness, too happy, anything that is extreme can sort of like block the normal T flow. So this is not what we want to happen when we talk about liver health. So and acupuncturists and other manual therapists actually can promote T flow. Like for example, if you do some scraping, if you do some cupping, so that you can actually unblock some blood stagnations in your body, then it will also promote the smooth flow of the energies in your body, which is we call the T flow. Another thing is that appropriate amount of aerobic exercise, including jogging, including dancing if you want. So it's just like to anything that move your energy and blood will help that. But excessive is also not suggestible, because when you are too tired, you probably will deter your blood productions, and also you're like overwasted your energies, which is also not suggestible. And one thing I want to mention here, exercise is not, as much as possible, is the best options for you to go for. You have to understand your body, and you have to understand like how much is appropriate amount for you. So a lot of people's like just believe that more exercise is better. They end up depleting their energies and end up like depleted too much, and end up with other problems in the body. So I want to mention a little bit more about managing stress in related to T flow, or the avoiding T stagnations. So I keep on talking about understand yourself and your environment, because like there are a lot of micro stressor that actually can, or annoying factor, then keep you very stressful, like, and a lot of those is generated from the environment, like noise, like certain routine that your family or your kids want you to do. So like you have to identify those which make you feel stressed, and then you have to solve those problems. If you don't, but what are those? Those are the irritating, frustrating, distressing demand. So like basically is those that happen in your everyday, and you don't pay attention to that. But if you pay more attention to that, you can find a way of managing it, or we eliminate it from your life. And the other thing is to build your defense, because when you're tired, when you don't have energy, you technically cannot like deal with all the stress. So stress managing strategies, one thing is very important is to build your defense. You know, like you sleep well, you eat well, you have fun, you be a happy person, have, you know, like equip yourself with different life skills so that when you do a presentation, you don't have to use like 5 days, you can use like 2 days. And then so like technically when you do things that you don't know how to do, it's normally more stressful. So build up those life skills so that you don't have to deal with things in a way that is depleting your energy. And also heal yourself of stress releasing tools. Like there's a lot of things you can do, in some work for some people and some don't work for some people. So like physical exercise is a very good way of like managing stress. Breathing technique, relaxation techniques, meditations, you know, like there's endless like endless method that you can actually help yourself. And so like seek out for those and then like and practice it. That is the best way of like doing stress management. And then like as for blood, like we are talking about blood. So when we come to blood enhancing, there are, apart from Chinese herb, or you know like or other manual therapies, to enhance blood, we need materials to go into our body. So proper nutrition is very important. You know, so like balanced nutrition and use blood enhancing food. A very simple guideline is that you want to enrich your blood, you take food or veggie that is red and dark in colors. For example, some of the superfood are cherries, any type of berries, and for example, beetroots, which is all in red colors, and figs, and also like blueberries, and also like maybe like a couple of like darkwood fungus. This is all in dark colors, and it actually back beans per se, and it all help you to increase your blood profiles and enhancing blood productions. Apart from all that, if you're not a vegetarian, I also encourage people to take a small amount of red meat each week, because like there's some micronutrients in there you need it to produce your blood. And another thing is like another things that is like I want to mention is sleep. If you don't sleep well, if you don't rest well, your liver, when the meridian travel to the liver and the gallbladder meridians in the around is the gallbladder meridian is from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. and the liver meridian is 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. So like when they are trying to restore your liver health, when they're trying to when you lay flat, your blood go back to your liver, right? So like when you lay down properly. So like if you can sleep during this period of time, your detox function will drastically improve, and also your liver health can be secure. So like light life is not good for liver, period. So like technically just go more by yourself and adjust your lifestyle so that you can nourish your liver properly. And I would just want to mention a little bit more on the sleeping quality, because it's a lot of people have sleeping problem in our city, right? Like so like again, it's about like understand yourself, understand your sleeping pattern and your environment. Manage the disturbance. As I said, the disturbance can be your electronic equipment, can be the caffeine that you take in the afternoon, can be the late night sweat, yeah, and then or the late night sweet that you take. Like for example, a lot of people have the habit of taking some dark chocolate like before they go to bed, which is not a bad thing. But then like some people, when they grow older, they cannot take it anymore because it will cause their reflux. So like understand what caused your or disturb your sleep. And uncomfortable temperatures and humidity can be part of the cause, right? And also again, build your defense, you know, avoiding all blue light before you go to bed, you know, like practicing breathing exercise and mindfulness. And some people find it very useful if you do stretching and exercise during the day or before you go to bed, that will also like help you to get onto a better sleep. So if you cannot do it just by yourself, you need help, then probably you can download some calming music, use the meditation app like Calm, do some foot bath if you go to bed, and use the eye massagers per se, and those, or using aromatherapy. So those are tools that is easily accessible and also help you to get in a deeper sleep. Better sleeping quality helps you to produce blood, and it will also in turn to help you to get a better liver health. Okay, so the last bit of it, when to seek professional help. Okay, I list a couple of things that probably will experience, and then if those happen to you, then maybe you should just get a professional help and go to talk to a TCM doctor or go to talk to a doctor. So like those including, one is a chronic fatigue. A lot of people overlook it. A lot of chronic fatigue is due to a poor liver system. And then, like, as I said, that irritable eyes and poor eyesight, pain around the liver and ribcage area or your crotch. The crotch is like, sometimes people don't associate with liver, but if you have persistent pain around your crotch area, it's also like a time that we think about, like, how can we connect it to liver health? Or any type of involuntary muscle movement, or if you have severe headache or migraine, it can be also a liver imbalance. As I said, like, it's a poor digestion, and also one thing that probably a lot is a common knowledge is like high blood pressures in a lot of cases also related to a liver imbalance, which is when we treat high blood pressure, a lot of times we are dealing with the liver health too. So what we will do, like as a TCM doctor, so technically we will do your body type analysis to see where your imbalance is, like what is the best lifestyle that you can cope better with the stress. And then another thing is that we'll do manual therapy for stress and pain release, for example, some massage or cupping or scraping, just to have an instant release of your imbalance. And pain-free is also part of the way of dealing with the stress, because like it's very stressful when you always have some pain that reminding you are in a suboptimal health situations. So we will collect the T-flow. We will calm the excessive emotions. Mainly is done by acupuncture and herbal medicine. And the last things we may do for you is probably enhance the visceral functions, which in this case are the liver functions, and also the blood productions and the circulations. So we'll give you some herbal medicines or diet suggestions. What I want to mention is like we want to achieve the balance, but sometimes the balance is easier to achieve when your imbalance is not excessive. So that's why we always emphasize on Yang-Sang. It's like to maintaining your health instead of dealing with the symptoms. So the last slide, sorry, yeah. So like the last slide of the presentations is the do's and don'ts. So like, I think it's like very simple, very like mindful. So like, do manage your stress and emotions. Eat well, enhance blood productions. Sleep well, rest well, exercise, and use other therapies to maintain your proper T-flow, achieve blood flow. And don't forget to seek professional advice when you have doubt. The don'ts is more important. Don't let extreme emotion linger and take over. Don't consume excessive alcohol, because alcohol actually can damage the liver health directly. And don't go to bed too late. And don't consume excessive other toxics, for example, including too much drugs and supplements, artificial flavors, and or artificial coloring in the processed food. And the other, of course, like preservative is one of those fall into that category. And please don't neglect signs like high blood pressures, persistent pain, and change of color conditions, because it can all big reflections of your liver health. Okay, so basically I'm done with my presentations, and then if we can get into our Q&A sessions.
So thank you so much, Clara. If any participants have got questions, welcome to type them in the chat box. But also we received some questions earlier at the registration, so we could also start with those. So feel free to write your questions in the chat box.
Okay, so if because we only have around like 20 minutes to round this off on the Q&A, so we'll touch on questions that is the most relevant to our topic today. You know, I got a couple of questions actually pointing to the same things. One is how to improve the fatty liver functions. I think that what actually you want to ask is like how to deal with fatty liver. Yeah, so so like, or how to keep. Yeah. Okay. So let's deal with the fatty liver first. Like fatty livers from a TCM point of view is like more like a flame accumulations in the liver area. So as we know on our basic knowledge is like fatty liver is due to accumulated of the fatty cells in the liver. And a lot of people is pointing it towards the diet, you know, so like if you have a fatty liver, first of all, you have to look at is how you eat. But I don't want to give a plain suggestion as like a lot of people in the internet will do is, oh, you just reduce your fat intake. This probably is not the right answer. The right answer is like we have to look at your metabolism and also like why you deliver why you start to have this retention of fat in your body. We look at those retentions as a frame accumulations, frame as like it's like accumulate water or accumulate unprocessed elements that actually stagnated in the liver. So as I said that what we really still look at the total health. So we want to enhance the T flow and the energy flow. We also want to enhance the blood flow, because when everything is like in a proper circulations, that it will take away the toxics from there, and then it will prevent the accumulations. But before we come to that point, it's like I think we have to look at our diet and also our living pattern, or like our life patterns. So look for some suggestions. You can go to a dietitian, you can go to TCM doctors and talk to them regarding what is the food change that you need to do. So food intake is the first line. And then it's like how you exercise more and don't overeat. You know, so like technically, I'm not asking people to go on a particular diet, because there's just not a particular diet that will fit everybody. So, but then like we will normally, when you come to us, we will analyze your body type, and we will also like look at, are you taking excessive sugar? Are you taking excessive carbo? Or is it really the fat that you are over consuming? A lot of times it's not about fat consuming. A lot of times it's like in the real world, people, especially for those people who is very health conscious and they still have fatty liver, is like normally it's the over intake of the carbohydrates. So we have to look at your total pattern, and then we have to look at your lifestyles. And metabolism happen when you rest. If you don't rest properly, that probably is also a contributor to your fatty liver. So if you want a fatty liver is the first sign of that your liver is getting unhealthy. If it can totally be reversed. If you get back into a healthy lifestyle and you modify your diet, there's a very high chance that people can get a positive result or reductions of the fatty liver in their next examinations. Okay. So the other questions that I got is like, what downsides exist with the preventive liver treatment? So as I said that like, I'm not encourage people to take a lot of drugs sort of to enhance the liver health. Well, like a lot, first line, everything is going step by step. So like change of lifestyles, work on your nutrition before you take any drugs, including Chinese herbal medicines. It's like when you come to see me in the clinic, a lot of patients is asking, oh, what should I take in order to improve my liver health? I'm more focused on a reduction method, like what you shouldn't do, what you shouldn't eat, what you shouldn't like practice, what you should change in your daily practices. If you can, a lot of times by doing this, by this reduction method, you already can better your liver health. So like, I think it's a very Hong Kong people's approach. It's like they always want to do more. When you come to, can I do more so that I can be better? Sometimes it's not about more, it's about less. So like less consumption of certain things, then probably will give you a better balance. Okay, so any more questions that you, so the other questions I have is like, I often have sweat when sleeping and red lips when waking up in the morning. How to balance the body? Okay, the symptom itself is not probably may not be just solely contributed by liver problems, but like but bad sleeping quality or red lips, which is like the heated situations, can be a reflective or can be a contributors also like to the liver's health. So I think having nice sweat is always like related to, it's always related to a SHU or like a deficiency syndromes. So like it's always like it can be related to liver health, but it can also related to your lung, meridian health, and other health issues. So we do have methods that control the sweating, but first of all, go back and see if your room is really too hot, or is it too humid? Because in the middle of the night, if you can start sweating, it can be the humidity too. So control your environment before you try to do something, or some pharmacological interference. And you also, if you are in deep sleep, you probably don't aware that you are sweat. So like basically, so try to enhance the sleeping quality through the method that I've already suggested. And red lips is because when waking up is because of the dryness, and also like because like the it can be some excessive fire in the body that reflected. So like in order to balance it, if you really feel heated inside, then balance with something that is like cold in nature, or like or something that is like, for example, I will give a couple of examples. Like if you really feel that, you can try some chrysanthemum tea to start off with. And also like you can also try some, but don't go for the 涼茶, which is like very severe, because like, it can damage your digestive system if you go for something that is very seriously cold without a guidance from the TCM doctors. And then let's see. Another questions I got is, how can one do if liver enzymes are too high? And okay, so when your liver enzyme is high, your liver is actually quite sick already, because like in the balance situations, your enzyme won't go rising. So like we have to, if you really have an enzyme, high enzymes, so like technically you have to lead your liver rest better, first line, okay? And then like, of course, you have to work with the Western doctor to see if there's any cause in our actual cause behind it. A lot of times when people have rise of enzyme, it can be looked at that they have an over exercise of the liver, which is they need a lot of detoxification function they need to perform. So like, why you need to detox so much? Is there something that you intake? Is there any drugs? A lot of times a rising of enzyme is related to drugs intake, like including herbal medicine. So it's because there are people who have different sensitivity to different drugs or even supplement. So by eliminations, like talk to your doctors, or either Western doctors or liver specialists, is any possibilities that whatever that your supplement or your herbal medicine or whatever that you intake as man-made drugs actually is causing the excessive over-exercise of liver functions. Yeah, and then and which compromise your detoxification abilities. So or any there's also another possibility is immuno attack. So is there any possibilities that there's an immuno imbalance happening in the body? From a pure TCM point of view, we always like want to calm it down. For probably again by elimination. If you're continuous taking herbal medicine, we probably will stop that for a little while to eliminate each elements and find out whether what is the root cause of your over exercising of the liver. And for the next questions I have is like, how should me regulate diet life to be border less of damn heat trap in liver? Okay, that is from a diet point of view, technically less deep fried things, less heaty things, like curry, like anything that will actually cause heat in the body. And also for as a normal regulations, you can have more floral tea that is on the colder side. And for example, chrysanthemum is one of them, chamomile is one of them. And those will technically help you to get the tea flow better in your liver and also like get the heat out of your body. A lot of heat can be carried out by very simple medicine, but then like resting is another thing. So because if you are, people will generate internal heat if they are not resting properly. So that is like, that's why sleeping properly or rest properly is also very important. So I thought that like, if you really cannot get rid of it, TCM has a lot of method to instantly or like to clear it out. But then lifestyle and diet is more important than anything. So we got to make sure that even if we clear out your damn heat, doesn't mean that it won't reaccumulate back. So it's more important to improve your lifestyle than just like asking for help from the medicinal doctors. So liver health definitely. Another question I got is liver health related to eyesight? Definitely, because like in Chinese medicines, we have a saying of like 血不陽乾. If your blood is like very weak, your blood profile is not good, if you don't have enough blood flow or blood enrichment, then your liver functions will be compromised. And as we already talked about, the liver meridian, the eye health is actually being nourished by the liver meridian. And if like our liver is not healthy enough, it will compromise our abilities to have a good eyesight. And apart from the good eyesight, it's like also like you, as I mentioned before, you may have some more floaters, and also like and if you have excessive T going up because of lack of blood, then it will have a red eye, a dry eye, and if your processing of the hemoglobin is not well in your liver, you may even have yellow eye white. So like technically, the eye is indicators of our liver health a lot of times. So don't over like or undermine, I would say, don't undermine those indicators, because like it will give you a first sign of like we may need to some work on your rebalancing of your liver. So I think it's the last questions that I can entertain. So what's your view on taking vitamins every day? Okay, don't take vitamins when you don't need it. Like because every manufactured drugs and do have you need to sort of like going through your liver and kidney system in order to process it. So like, but we always need to balance the good side and the bad side of supplements. If you really are lack of something, or you're not confident whether you are lack of something, sometimes like it's still worthwhile to doing it. But when there's the two things you have to be aware. It's not like the more the better. I know patients that come to see me and they take 20 something pills a day, all in supplement. So I thought that is excessive. But there are people that we actually need some help. For example, when the just like when the pregnant woman they did folate, they want to ensure that they have enough of it. I think that's okay. People when they grow older, and you have to have more omega-3 for your heart health, when you take some fish oil as supplement, I think that's okay. There's two basic principles. More natural, you know where the vitamins coming in or supplements, what the effective elements coming in is better. A more natural form is the better. For example, when I want omega-3, I would take flaxseed oil, I would take fish oil. I won't take a manufactured omega-3 per se. So there are things that we look at, and also look for some manufacturers or some pharmacy that is reputable. I would probably from a country that has a lot of regulations on supplement is also important. For example, like for Australia, they have a very they have a much more stringent regulations on supplements than in comparing to, say, US. So when I personally, I'm not a vitamin expert, but when I choose my own vitamin, I would choose from probably an Australian manufacturer. So those are things that and also a reputable one. So like it's something that you need to do your homework and find out what is more beneficial to yourself.